Hello and welcome to All Ears English. Today's episode is all about job interviews. Now, when you enter a job interview, there are some key things that you should do and some key things that you should not do to make yourself indispensable to that company, meaning to make it essential that they hire you, to make yourself the best candidate. In today's episode, we'll show you what those things are and how you can do them successfully in the interview. Go ahead and hit subscribe to the channel to get more All Ears English episodes right here. Enjoy the episode, guys, and thanks for listening. This is an All Ears English podcast episode 1357, How to Make Yourself Indispensable in Job Interviews in the US. Welcome to the All Ears English podcast, downloaded more than 130 million times. We believe in connection, not perfection, with your American hosts, Lindsay McMahon, the English adventurer, and Michelle Kaplan, the New York radio girl, coming to you from Los Angeles and New York City, USA. And to get weekly transcripts delivered to your email inbox, go to allearsenglish.com/subscribe. Today we answer a question from an Instagram follower. Should you ask about salary, benefits, and vacation in your first interview? Find out what to do and what to avoid when you interview for a job in American culture. This episode was recorded a few weeks in advance.
Our understanding of the COVID-19 situation has changed since then.
We hope you are healthy and safe.
And we hope that All Ears English can be a bright spot in your day during this moment of uncertainty.
Hey, Jessica, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. You know why? Because I love my job. What about you?
I love my job too. No matter what's going on in the world, we can come back to the microphone and feel grateful that we get to be on this mic supporting so many thousands of listeners around the world. It's pretty cool.
Yes.
It's pretty cool.
I mean, guys, you know, something my mom always used to say, this too shall pass. And, you know, that is true for pretty much everything in the world, right? This too shall pass. And guys, what we're talking about today will help you move forward in your professional life as soon as you can.
Yeah, exactly. This is the time, guys. Again, we're recording this in mid-March, so we're in the middle of this coronavirus epidemic, and this is coming out at the end of April. So maybe by then things will be getting better. We don't know, okay? But what you can do is you can control what you do right now in the meantime, right? Until we get out of this, you could come out of this. Maybe you have a little extra time at home, right? To build some important skills by listening to our show, maybe getting into some of our free master classes. For example, we have a master class on how to be charismatic at work. Okay, guys. And the way to get into that is allearsenglish.com/charisma. Jessica, how do you spell charisma? It's got an H in there, right? Somewhere in there.
It is a very tricky word. I think we need an easier word to spell for that. Okay. C-H, guys. C-H-A-R-I-S-M-A. Charisma. Charisma is like having this magnetic personality, right?
Yes.
Being a person who others want to talk to.
Exactly.
And we want to be that person in job interviews for sure.
For sure. Because we don't want to hire people that are going to bring our companies down, right? We want to hire people that are fun to be around, right? So you must be thinking, you must get inside of the head of the interviewer anytime that you are interviewing. It's not about you. It's never about you in that first interview, okay? It's about what you can do for the company, all right?
Right. Yes, guys. Like, I think that is, I mean, we're going to give you very specific examples of what to ask and not ask. But the point of this is that, like Lindsay said, guys, make it about the company. Prove your usefulness to that specific job, to that specific business, right?
Yes.
Don't focus on yourself. It's not. Yes, it's you are being interviewed, but your goal is to show that you care about this company and you will be very useful to them.
Yeah, you need to make yourself indispensable. You need to paint a picture to how you're going to, I mean, if they're a company that's trying to build their profits, how they're going to increase their profits. If they're a nonprofit, how you're going to help them do what they want to do in the world, right? And if you're an academic institution, if you're applying at an academic institution, how you're going to forward their goals, okay? So this came from a question from an Instagram follower from named Knock Memories. And he says, "Hi, thanks for your amazing podcast. Hope you will all be healthy away from the COVID-19. I hope so too. I will have the upcoming interview for a fellowship position in the US. So I think that's in academia, but it's still a job interview, right?
Yeah.
Could you please suggest what to do and what not to do during the interview? For example, can I ask for the salary, the benefits, and the vacation? Thanks and take care." Actually, this person's name is Chilenok. Okay. Good question.
Awesome.
Really good question,
very
Chilenok.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So I mean, just to directly address what that person is asking about, whether or not we're talking about the first interview, right?
Yeah.
And this is assuming it is a competitive position that you are seeking, right? You're not like the only person that is up for this job. Like, it's competitive, right? So no, guys, do not come off as selfish. And I understand, like, you do want to know about like benefits and stuff like that, but that is a topic for another interview. If you get called back, if you are in the negotiation process for the job, if they already want you, basically. In this first interview, they don't already want you. Like, they don't know you yet. So definitely don't be like, "Oh, by the way, how much vacation time am I going to get?" Like, that's bad.
It's because you haven't built your value in their minds yet.
Right.
You can't talk about it until they see you as something that would add value to whether it is the school or the company. Then you can start talking about that. So what are 2 things that we should do then, Jessica? What would you say is the first one?
Okay, guys, this is amazing advice. I feel like it doesn't matter what language you're doing this, what country, just job interviews. I feel like this is amazing. So a great thing to start out by asking them is what goals their company has for the future. And this can be sort of broad. We'll get specific in a minute, but this first question is it's a little bit broad. You can sort of tailor that to the company that you are applying for, right? Like academic goals, research goals, right? For that fellowship. And then when they tell you 1 or 2 of their goals, then you quickly respond by saying how you could help them reach that goal. Like, what about you specifically will help them to achieve that?
Yeah, for sure. You want to insert yourself in the process of achieving that goal and make yourself seem indispensable in their minds, right? So one way you could extend that is by saying, as you said, Jessica, what are your goals on the year? You may not be able to find that information on the website. So this is a good big picture question. And then saying, where are you stuck? Right? That I think is so key. So then you can find out, okay, now that I know where they're stuck, now I can compare my skills to that and see how I could help, right? You could really paint that picture. So powerful.
So I think we need an example here. I'm going to say, like, what if, Lindsay, I didn't work for you yet, okay? And I'm applying for a job. And I'm like, Lindsay.
Okay, let's try it.
So I have a situation in mind already. Okay. What if I ask you what the goals for All Ears English are, and you say, well, we would like to get All Ears English into more classrooms.
Yes.
Right? And I'm not sure what that looks like. And then I could say, well, I have written 16 textbooks and I have designed a number of curriculums for different institutions. I can help you reach that goal.
Yeah. And you could add on to maybe you have contacts in different schools in Asia or different places, right? So this is the way you plant the seed in the person's mind, right? You make yourself indispensable. Okay.
So I think a great piece of advice here is to mention your network, right? How would you, the people you know, and your past experience and connections help that company?
Yes, because that's something that no one else can really repeat, right? No one else can have that same network that you have. And so that's so valuable, right? We should always be building our networks throughout our career for our own ventures and also also for our employers so that we can help companies grow for sure. I love that idea. So that's the piece. That's the piece that maybe we don't get on the website, but then we can be a little more specific. Maybe certainly we always want to make sure we've researched the company. So we should know some of their products already coming in so we can anchor it a little bit more. And you can say, I see that, X, Y, and Z are your major projects this year. What is the thing you're most excited about with any of those projects? Could be something you could say.
Yeah. Or exactly. You could ask them about launch ideas, promotion ideas, marketing ideas. Ask them for their specific plans, right? For reaching these goals for these specific products and say, I have a great idea for that, right? Maybe come up with your own idea for different marketing campaigns. It could be like, what about this?
I love it. Yeah. Getting into the specifics, asking them about customer segments, who are they trying to target, all this good stuff. Now, for our student who asked the question, your question is about a fellowship, and that's an academic position, I believe. So we can't really give exact examples for that situation, but you can imagine how to expand it to your situation. Okay.
Well, I think, just focusing on the research goals of that institution, right? Yes. And you could still bring in your network, your experience, and your novel ideas for how they could reach those things.
Yeah, exactly. It extends directly into the academic world. Okay, so those are the things that you should do. Now, what are the things we should not do, Jessica?
Well, like we said at the beginning, guys, don't have one of your first questions be about not working.
Oh my
gosh. What's the paid time off situation? How many paid holidays do I get? I already planned a vacation for the first week in June. Would that be paid? Or I don't know, any of this give me free stuff sort of thing. Don't talk about that.
Yeah. It's the fastest way to end the interview, right? You want to be back out on the sidewalk in 10 minutes. That's the way to do it. Okay. So, definitely. So just answering your question directly here for a listener, do not ask about those things. So the time to bring that up is they will bring that up when they offer you the job. It is hard because a lot of positions, they don't list salary. They don't list benefits. I mean, they should. I don't like it when companies don't do that, but some don't for whatever reason. So the time to ask is after you've gone through the process and now they've offered you the job. Then you have a little bit of leverage to then start to negotiate. There's nothing wrong with that once you get to that point. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if stuff isn't listed like that, there's a reason, right? They are going to tailor their offer to the candidate, the amount of experience you have, how useful you're going to be to the company. So you have to prove that first.
Yes.
And then, like Lindsay said, then you have some leverage, right? You have something to back up your request. What else should candidates not mention in that first interview?
Okay. So guys, don't be tacky. Don't try to give the impression. Don't act like don't drop hints and say that you have 5 other job offers. There are ways to create scarcity for yourself as a candidate in a non-tacky way. Okay.
Yeah.
By showing your value, by showing that you are on it. They talk about customer segments. You immediately throw out some ideas. That shows your scarcity and your value. You don't need to go and say, I have 3 other interviews today and 5 next week. And so you don't, it's just tacky.
That would be so terrible, guys. Or I can imagine somebody doing this because they think it's showing, how useful and amazing they are or whatever. And they're like, I already have 3 offers from your competitors. Right? That sounds so rude and arrogant and terrible. Even if it is true, don't say that to them.
No, do not say that. So I don't know. I mean, maybe this varies across cultures. So it's good that we're doing this. This is how we should do it in American culture. These are our recommendations for American business culture and academia. But guys, let us know if in your culture, maybe there are certain unwritten rules that are a little different from this. That would be interesting to know. Right,
yes.
Jessica?
Oh my gosh. I would love to hear those comments. Leave them on Instagram. Guys, we are posting every day. Follow us on Instagram, All Ears English. We are loving the comments and the questions. It gives us stuff to talk about on these episodes as well, like today. So definitely, guys, tell us about the interview culture where you are, the do's and don'ts, especially if they are not what we talked about today, right? Because we're Americans. This is about American culture, expectations. But I would love to hear if it's different where you are. And guys, you could be learning how to have even more charisma and make yourself magnetic in that interview. Go to allearsenglish.com/charisma and get more business English from us.
Yes. Isn't that a fun word to say? Charisma.
It is.
I bet it's even more fun to be that way, right? To be charismatic because you walk in with this sense of confidence that's just unshakable, right?
Yes.
When you know how to be charismatic, you know you are charismatic, nothing can stop you, guys. That's where we want to get you. That's what we're going to be doing with business English this year. So get started for now over at allearsenglish.com/charisma. Awesome.
Love it. Awesome. Yeah. All right, Lindsay. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Yeah, you too. Take it easy. Take it easy. All right. Bye. Take care. Bye. Thanks for listening to All Ears English. If you are taking IELTS this year, get your estimated band score with our 2-minute quiz. Go to allearsenglish.com/myscore. And if you believe in connection, not perfection, then hit subscribe now to make sure you don't miss anything. See you next time.